please, before we even go further, like this video if you have been praying for me, because we got another testimony and I don't know what is gonna come of it, but by faith I'm claiming it. You guys know I needed a way to get here, got here. I needed a place to live. God has provided that as well. The next and biggest hurdle for me was getting a car, because I have never had to buy a car for myself before. You know, like my dad is a mechanic and my mom is very giving, and so with the two of those things combined, I've never had to worry about car problems or getting a car for myself. And you know, in this day and age, like, people, well, maybe in all ages, people like to take advantage of women because, you know, they may not know the most about cars. And so I was stressing because I was like, God, I'm out here in California by myself and they're going to try to take advantage of me, trying to get a car at a dealership or whatever. And so I came here, unpacked my things, had to bring the rent-a-car that I drove from Florida to California. I dropped that back off, and then I was like, okay, God, what am I gonna drive? It's Sunday and I need to return the car, and what am I gonna drive to work tomorrow? And so in my mind, I thought that, you know, as soon as I got here, God was gonna provide a car for me, like, you know, so I can get to work, because I wasn't trying to Uber, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. And so I was calling my dad and I was like, Dad, like, I need to get a car. Like, what do I do? And he's like, you know, do some research. He told me what to do, and we'll revisit this next week. And I was like, I'm gonna have it to you by, you know, tomorrow, because I'm trying to buy a car. And he kind of didn't understand where I was going with that. And then Sunday came, the last Sunday came, the day before I started work. I've worked here for a full week now. This is starting my second week. But Sunday came and I was like, all right, Daddy, I gave you everything you need to know. I've been doing all my research, like, you know, this morning, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go right now to go buy the car. He was like, what? I was like, Daddy, I'm ready to go buy the car. Like, I need a car for work tomorrow. And he was like, girl, this ain't a pair of shoes you're buying. You're buying a car. You're buying your first car. You need to research. You need to, like, you know, like, relax. Like, and I was like, but Daddy, like, I need to get to work tomorrow. And he was like, listen, and some of you might be thinking, why don't you just Uber, Ayana? Or why don't you just, like, you know, whatever, rent? I was like, first of all, I didn't have any more credit cards. I haven't broke. And he was like, how do you just went to California without a plan? Like, who does that? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm trying to have faith. God is working, and I know he led me here. And so it was a lot of tears on the phone, a lot of tears just in general, and a lot of tears and reading the Bible and praying and all of those things, and crying out to God, literally. And so then he was like, listen, you need to go rent a car for a month. And I was like, but Daddy, I don't have a credit card. I maxed out the one credit card that I have to take the rent-a-car from Florida to Connecticut, and from Florida to California. I'm from Connecticut, guys, if you didn't know. But and because it was an SUV, it cost a lot of money, and they put a hold on your card anyway. And so, long story short, I didn't have any money, and my dad wanted to rent the car for me with his credit card. But it just wasn't working out, because when you're renting a car, you need to have the person who is renting to be the primary driver, and he's all the way in Connecticut. I'm in California. It's not gonna work. And you could also add the person as an additional driver, but every time the agency tried to connect me to the main desk, it would drop the call. And I was like, what is going on here? And it was just so weird. And so I called him again, and more tears, more crying. Y'all don't know my dad. And then I got off the phone, and I was like looking through like a pocketbook. I was looking through, and I was like, these cards, and I was like, Amazon credit card through Chase. I wonder if Chase will allow me to you know, use this anywhere. And so I called the number and they were like, you can use the credit card wherever you can, wherever Visa, MasterCard is. And I was like, and my limit on that card is like higher. It's a high amount. So it was able to rent me a car for a month, basically. And with a AAA discount, you know, you can still get some more discounts with that. But basically, now I'm in the predicament where I'm in this phase with the rent a car for a month and whatever. It's supposed to be searching and researching and doing what I need to do to get my permanent car. Now the thing is, like, in that whole experience, like with the rent a car and the credit card and my dad not being able to help me even though he would want to, it just taught me like that, you know, God really wants me to have this total dependence on him, not looking for somebody to bail me out based on love, like, but that he is able to supply my needs in ways that I haven't seen before. And so now we're going to get to the testimony of today, because that was last week's testimony where I was like freaking out and trying to find the credit card, and I found a credit card, but that I didn't know that I could use or have or whatever. But let's talk about it. So the Sunday that I came here, one of my pastor friends, Western Union, to me some money, and this is literally the day I got here, so it's a week ago, and I did not pick up this money until today. And I went to, and it was actually to help me to rent a car for while I'm here. So that's the purpose of that money. And I didn't ask him for it. He offered it. He didn't know my situation, none of it. He said God impressed him to send me some money. And I was like, all right. But that was last week and I didn't pick it up right away. And so I went to pick it up today. And now initially I put it to go to a Western Union. But when I got to the Western Union, the GPS was like, you have arrived. But I'm like, okay, but where is it? And usually, typically, Western Unions are inside of a grocery store or inside of another store. And so I didn't want to waste time. Like, I'm driving, like, I'm like, which one is it? And I didn't see anything. And so, like, in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to a different Western Union. And the GPS was like, okay, this one is inside of this specific, it's not Cardenas maybe, Cardenas grocery store. And I was like, okay, I'll go with that one. And so I went there and I drove there. I got there. I'm at the Western Union. The girl is helping me out. And she's like, there's a problem because your, the person, like my driver's license has my middle name on it and he didn't send the money with my middle name. And so he has to call Western Union and let them know. And, it'll take like about 15 minutes though. And like, you know, you can fix it over the phone and we can get it for you today. And the pastor's like, I called him and he was like, yep, same. We're going to do it right now. We're going to take care of it. So you don't have to even go back and come back. You're just gonna stay there and I'm gonna fix it for you, girl. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm talking with girl at the cash register, you know, and we're just chatting. And she's like, so you just moved here from Florida? And I'm like, yeah. I told her my story, and I was like, yeah, but you know, I really like it so far, but I'm just looking for a car because I need to get to and from work, you know. And she's like, you know, everything is just falling in place for you. It's okay. And she's like, wait, you're looking for a car? And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a car. She's like, my dad is selling a car. And I was like, I know your dad is selling. No, I don't know your dad is selling a car. But basically, with everything else that's happening right now, I can see why her dad is selling a car, because I need a car. And because God knows. And he directed me to that Western Union with homegirl at the front. And so she's like, yeah, my dad is selling a car. It's a really nice car. Like, I'm like, why is he selling this car? Like, you know, because I'm like, ain't nobody gonna take advantage of me today. I was like, why is your dad selling this car? And she's like, well, he got it for her sister, but her sister wanted a different car, and her dad really likes cars, so he gets a lot of cars, and it's a really good car. Like, nothing is wrong with the car. Like, she's like promising me nothing is wrong with the car. And how and she was like, yeah, and you can negotiate it for lower if you wanted, but it'll be great. Like, you know, it's 2014 or 15, and she's gonna get more details from the dad. And like, she called her dad, and the dad sent the pictures, and I was like, this is it. This is the car that I want. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's a car that I want, but I know it's a car that I want. And I was like, God, I know that this is for me, you know? And she's like, yeah, girl. And, you know, I actually just, she's like, and I want to be your friend. And I was like, what? She was like, I know you just moved here and all those things, and I like you already. Like, I just like you. And I was like, I like you too. And she was like, yeah, can we be friends? I was like, yes, because yesterday I was by myself exploring, and I was like, God, I want a friend so that they can take pictures with me. And he provided a friend. She was like, if you want to go anywhere, just call me. And I was like, yes, sis, we're making friends in the grocery store, in the Spanish grocery store now. But so I'm gonna see the car on Wednesday, and y'all pray for me because I still need money to buy the car. But this car is for me, and I'm claiming it in God's name. That is my car. So stay tuned for more with Journey Unknown in California. Thank you for watching so far. God bless.